Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. It's good to be back. It feels really different this year. It feels like there's just a freshness and that we've moved forward from what we were experiencing last year. So, yes, so here's to a very happy, healthy, and fulfilling new year. So, today I wanted to share about how do we move forward when our energy is saying yes and our personality is saying no. So this has come up for a few clients this week, and it just felt like it was really relevant. Quite often we've already expanded into what we would love, or the next step of what we would love, and and then our resistance comes up, and our personality says, no, I don't want anything to change. I want everything to stay as it is. We work so hard to get things to being as they are, and even if they're not ideal, at least we know where we're at, and we're safe. And there's that sense of just don't change anything. What we know is better than what we don't know. And beliefs come up, memories of past experiences come up, all sorts of things come up that start holding us back. But really, energetically, it's like we've already said yes. We're already quite sort of comfortable in new energy energetically. And hi, welcome. And yeah, and so we kind of have this, part of us is saying yes to going forwards with whatever it might be, and part of us is just saying no, and we end up in this sort of paralysis or this stalemate, and this kind of like, I can't move either way. So if this is something that is, that feels like it's relevant, let me know. And often, we can check with our energy to see, okay, have I already energetically said yes to this thing, this possibility, this opportunity, this new way of experiencing life, or a new way of living, and this new reality. So we can check in with our energy, but also we can know, because there's such a big part of us that's saying, yes, I know this is possible. I know that I can do this. It's like we feel really close to it. And I have this extra layer of me because it's quite chilly. So we can kind of get a sense that we are saying yes. But yet also there's a part of us going, yes, but. Okay. So if this is, and hi to everybody who's here live, and if you're watching the replay, hello, you're very welcome. So if you feel that you're in this place where there's something is opening up for you, something is present for you, there's something that you really want, and you feel and have a sense that a part of you is saying yes to it, but that also another part is saying no, just feel into that, like feel into the energy of what it is that you're wanting. So anytime we have an idea for something, or an intention, or a desire, that the way for it to be fulfilled already exists. So the energy of that possibility is already here, and the only thing that's stopping us is resistance. Because if there was no resistance, we'd be experiencing it already. So whatever it is that you're wanting, it's here already. It exists already. It's present already. So if you want to take a moment and just feel into whatever it is that you want. Hey, welcome. I'm not sure who's here, just see a few numbers. So feel into whatever it is that you really, really want. So what is it? What is it that you really, really want? What does it feel like? What does it look like? How do you feel when you imagine yourself having that, or being that, or doing that? And just so feel into that energy of what it is that you really want. Okay. All right, and as you're feeling into the energy of what it is that you really want, just feel your weight on the chair, your feet on the ground, so really feel into your physical body and feel your connection with the earth. Hey Lorene, welcome. Yeah, so just allow yourself to be really present with what it is that you really want. Okay, and as you're doing that, you are, it's like, yeah, you're allowing yourself then to be present of this reality, the reality of what you really want. And notice as you're doing that, anything that's saying, but this isn't possible, or but this, or but that, or, you know, I can't do this for this reason, or for that reason. So notice any resistance that's coming up. Okay. Whew. How's anybody doing? If anybody wants to share about how you're doing as we're doing this, let me know. Or if you're feeling stuck, and we can read the energy, because there are so many different aspects to this, and so, you know, I'll just read the energy of what's showing up. So if you want to, you know, if you want to engage with that, then you're very welcome. So, okay. All right, yeah, and notice your body. So there's a sense of your line of alignment, a sense of your channel running through your body, through your energy field. So this is you know, a channel that's connecting you with source, it's connecting you with the earth. There's a lot of source energy, like infinite source energy flowing through you, and also earth energy flowing up into your body. And if you want to imagine or feel into kind of your energy expanding as you're being filled both by earth energy and by source energy. Hey Irene, lovely energy, just like confidence and courage. Okay. So let's see what comes in a minute around that. It's like, and really have that sense of, oh yes, this feels really good, I really want this, but I don't feel confident, or I don't have the courage. So it's kind of feel into both sides. You know, it's really, you know, there's the whole thing of feel fear and do it anyway. I'm not so sure that's always a great idea, because we can, you know, if at a personality level we're just saying too big a no, we can totally sabotage what's going on. And really we want, you know, the way we can move forward in the most flow and alignment and the most joy is to have our personality self open and accepting and kind of curious and kind of on board with whatever the expansion is or whatever the change is. So if you want to have that sense of both parts of you. Okay, and just keep breathing. All right, so if you feel down into your hips, there's an unlocking happening around your hips. So almost like what's showing up at the moment is this earth piece is too hard. It's really just hard. This whole physical human piece is just too hard. So just notice if that resonates. It's showing up kind of around survival. And this is kind of what happens is that our personality self, we kind of have a threat to our survival because we've figured out how to survive, and now we're expanding into something new and it's totally different perhaps, and you know, it's like our survival is that threat because our old familiar way of surviving kind of needs to release in order to allow the new. So you can visualize on what you want and see me there, see yourself there, but what influence can we have on the person you want to be there with you? Okay, so if you feel into the energy or the essence of what it is that you want, and have a sense of that person kind of contributing to the essence of what it is that you want to experience, and we'll just see what comes in around this. You know, because ultimately we can only be with ourselves, and if it's a vibrational match, then the other person will be with us. If we both have slightly different journeys, then we might do slightly different things. But if you want to tune into just the energy of how it feels when that person is there and the essence of that. So it's more to do with you're tuning into the essence of it, and how that shows up can be different. Just see how that feels. Okay. All right, so now I don't know if you can feel there's this kind of like vibration happening around our earthly connection. Our earthly connection, I can feel kind of around hips and legs and knees and so on. And it's a little bit like that, maybe slightly kind of feeling before we take a jump or before we take some action to move forwards. So if you want to feel into maybe if there's any nervousness or any anxiety or anything, any kind of feeling connected with allowing yourself to shift from whatever the old experience is or the old reality you've been experiencing into whatever it is that you are wanting, whatever it is you're desiring. So it's like that transition or that cusp, being on the cusp of releasing one and allowing in the new. All right, and now there's more unlocking happening. It sort of feels more like second chakra, like between first and second chakra is a really low body. Hey Melanie, welcome. Happy New Year. And hello Bali. Nice to get the international bit in, international energy in. Yeah, okay, and so there's unlocking, and if you want to notice your back, so kind of at your lower spine and up your backbone, again there's an unlocking and more of a flow happening. And if you notice a part of you, like the personality self, that wants to stay with what's familiar, and imagine that you're really embracing that part of you, you're really loving that part of you, and you're really being present with that part of you. So that part of you has probably got resistances, it's got reversals, it's got stuck energies, it's got, past experiences that are, that are holding it back. But at the same time, all of those experiences, all of those energies have gifts in them. It's like we've learned so much through, all we have been experiencing. So if you want to have that sense of receiving the gifts, just imagine you're receiving the gifts. So it's like the personality self can be reassured that whatever it is it needs, that part of its needs, is still with us. And we're just letting go of the stuck energies. We're just letting go of what's not serving us. Okay, and just notice how does this feel? It's almost like there's a permission coming in. It's like a permission, like we're giving ourselves permission to explore and see how something different might be. Okay, and keep breathing. There's a lot shifting through the tummy area and up through the heart. And if you notice your whole tummy area, there's almost a sense of disbelief showing up. It's like, really? Is that possible? Can I? Oh, so if you want to breathe and just be present with that. Okay, and as you're breathing and being present, it's releasing. So some of that resistance is releasing. There's an essence coming in. One of the Earthlight essences, actually. Hold on. So for anybody who's not familiar with these are available for free on my website. The Earthlight set, Earthlight essences. It's a life transformation essence. So if you want to allow this essence to come in. So I allow this essence to support me in this quantum shift that is subtly or obviously transforming my life. I allow it to support me to experience ease, flow and spaciousness as I significantly shift into a new way of living and being. Very appropriate. Because when we really allow ourselves to fully embody and experience whatever the new is, we do have a different life experience. We do have a different way of living and being. It can be subtle, it can be very obvious, or might be obvious to us and subtle to others, or not obvious to others, so and other times it can be just obvious to everybody. But there is a difference. And if you want to allow yourself to have a sense of, so there's kind of like a feeling of more of excitement coming in now. It's like, maybe this thing that I really want can show up, or there's that sense of possibility showing up. So I don't know, do you feel that? Do you feel that sense of possibility? It's almost like an awakening that's showing through our energy field, and there's more of an upward flow. So hopefully you're feeling this. Okay, so if you put your attention again onto what it is you would love, so what is it that you're saying energetically yes to? And again, just feel that, like, how does that feel when you're experiencing that? How will you stand? How will you sit? How will you be as you move through the day? How do you feel when you wake up? you know, what kind of choices are you making? What are you doing during the day? Just kind of have a sense of that difference in your energy. Okay, and as you're doing this, you're kind of embodying. So it's like that energy was there already, and now you've been releasing some of the pieces that have been holding you back in the old, and you're allowing more of the new energy to show up within you. Oh. Is anyone getting a yes feeling? I'm feeling more of a yes feeling as we're aligning with the yes energy. And even if you want to, just imagine a yes feeling, or feel into whatever yes feeling is showing up in your body, even if there's still a bit of somewhere, just feel into the yes. Okay. All right, so now as you're doing that, there's a whole chunk of energy that's sort of been sitting behind us, which is falling away. It's like just it's like one of those boosters on rockets that fall away once the rocket gets to a certain height or a certain velocity or something. It's like they're just not needed. So it's as if whatever this chunk of energy is that's been sitting here behind us, it's just falling away. Okay. And Iron, what you were saying there about the confidence and courage, if anybody's feeling like having confidence and courage to allow that new to come in, or to take the actions that connect, take the actions that will support that new to come in, there's a piece coming in around that now. So so these, it's like training wheels on bicycles. Hey Patrick, welcome. It's like when we feel confident, we can let go of the training wheels. And if you want to feel into that feeling of how it would feel to let go of the training wheels. So everything that we've been doing and experiencing is similar to the training wheels. They've been teaching us what we need to know. They've been kind of holding us. They've been a little bit like those extra boosters on the rocket. And have that sense of, oh, actually, hold on, I don't need the training wheels anymore. Just feel into the feeling of, I don't need the training wheels anymore because I know how to ride the bicycle. Or maybe the rocket has got to where it needs to go to and it doesn't need them anymore. So just feel into that feeling of, I can ride the bicycle, or I can move forward without that extra support. And notice what happens in your energy. It looks like a shattering, but in a positive way. there's a whole lot of releasing of old structures. So whatever we're experiencing, there's always an energetic structure connected with it. And so with the old reality, if you like, with what our personality itself was holding on to, there was a structure to that. And that looks like it's kind of just, shattering, but in a good way. And that is allowing the space for the new structures connect with what it is that we really want. So how's anybody feeling? Is everybody feeling this, or does anybody want any help with anything? Just feel free to say if you do. It looks like a massive letting go, and there is that leap of faith in that letting go. It could be a big leap of faith, it could be a small leap of faith, but there's a leap of faith. And I recently heard an acronym for faith, which was for allowing in the how. I might have mentioned that last time, did I? Anyway, for allowing in the how. And a lot of the time we need to make a leap of faith first, and then the how can show up. So we don't necessarily need to know how, or we don't need to know all the pieces. They may not show up until we've actually said yes or taken that step. Okay, so just notice, how does this feel? Being willing to have faith. And also the thing about the whole faith is that whatever it is that's showing up is kind of part of the next step. It's part of helping us move forwards. And there will always be something showing up, supporting us to move forward. It's like just following the energy, or allowing the energy to keep showing up. So, for this, or for any, if I work with clients or with groups or anything, that we don't need any plan. We may have an intention, but we don't need to say, oh, they were going to do this and this and this and this, because that's way too limiting. And what we do is we show up and we allow what needs to you know, whatever it is that's showing up then is what we need next. And so we kind of keep following this energy, sort of, you know, sort of flow by flow. I was going to say step by step, but it's more like a flow by flow. And that's kind of how we can live in life as well. It's like, oh, this is the next flow. Oh, this is the next thing that's showing up. And yeah, whatever it is that we, there's something that coming in there around the law of polarity. So law of polarity says that if there's an up, there's a down. If there's a left, there's a right. If there's an intention, there's a way for that intention to be fulfilled. If there's a problem, there's a solution. And you can't have one without the other. You know, if you try and try to rub out a left, if you have a line, and you try to rub out the left part of the line, you'll still have a left part of the line. And so there's something coming in here around whatever it is that we want, there's a way for that to be fulfilled. And if there wasn't a way for it to be fulfilled, we wouldn't want it. Oh, okay. Looks like there's just loads shifting around this. So Patrick, you don't have a clue with goals anymore. Okay. So I wonder, Patrick, is there a sense of paralysis? Because a part of you is saying yes, and then maybe the fears, or, you know, the more personality side of you is saying no, and so you've kind of got to a stalemate. So just check with your energy and see if that resonates. Because that can often, when we feel just blank, it could be just about letting go and relaxing and allowing in whatever it is that needs to show up next. Other times it can be because we have this sort of split. We have one side saying yes and then the side saying no, and then there's the stalemate. So if you want to check in with your energy and just see, does that resonate? And if it does resonate, then feel into what is it that you've already said yes to? What is it that feels so good and so amazing and that you would love, that energetically you've already said yes to? And you can ask your energy, is this what I've already, you know, have I already said yes to this? And kind of get the feeling for that. And then you can also, when you've spent a little bit of time with that, then you can also feel into the part of you that's saying no. So the part of you saying no, what's that part of you saying? Is it saying no, this is not okay, it's not familiar, it's not safe, I don't know how it's going to play out. It's almost like not wanting to take whatever the next step is because of not knowing what all the other steps are. But it may be impossible to know what the other steps are without taking that first step. So again, there's that piece of faith or trusting. And you can even imagine or feel into, explore, okay, how would it be if I did take that next step? Even if you don't know exactly what it is at a practical level, just feel into the energy of taking the next step. And when you're doing that, you're already sort of loosening the hold of the fears or the anxieties or the beliefs or the rules that are keeping you in the old. So it does resonate, yeah. It feels like that's what's going on, and it feels like there's there is a way through it. When you allow both parts of yourself to be present, you allow yourself to kind of explore moving out of the no, even if you don't have a big clue, don't know exactly what the yes is. Also allow yourself to feel into the energy of what the yes is. And normally the energy of the yes is very calm. It's very, sort of has this expanded feeling about it. It has a sense of just, oh yes, a relief. It just is like, this feels so good. So there's a very different feeling to it. Now the other thing that's coming into my mind is that sometimes what we think we're saying yes to is smaller than what we're actually saying yes to. We might say yes to what we think is possible, but actually our energy is saying, no, this other thing is possible and is so much bigger and better. So freedom and joy. Okay, so if you feel into your energy, you know, am I saying yes to the freedom and joy? And it feels like you are. And then there's this other part of you saying, no, that's not okay. So, but if you just feel into just gradually moving into it and just see what happens, is things will start unraveling then. So, okay. How's everybody? Yes. Yeah, so oh, hey Louise. Feeling the energy on road. We'll tune in through. Okay, brilliant. Yeah, no, great. Enjoy it later on. Okay, so there's one more piece that wants to just land around this. Okay, so if you want to feel into just the yes again, because what we want is to, yeah, Patrick, yes to big energy. Yeah. Yeah. And when we say yes to the, it's like when we say yes to the bigger energy, it can actually really free us up much more than saying yes to the smaller energy. So it can be worthwhile exploring, is there something bigger actually that my energy is saying yes to? And that can help unlock things that wouldn't have unlocked otherwise. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of this sort of movement through our energy fields, all the way down through to the ground. And there's a sense of like bringing together our different aspects. It's like a kind of almost like a figure of eight, but yeah, sort of sort of integrating both parts. H1 feels blocked. Okay, I don't know, were you there for what we've just done? It feels like there's some pieces there around what came in for Patrick, I think, you know, about there is a yes, but there's a no that's holding it back. And then if you feel into, okay, if I expand into the yes, how does that feel? So if you want to re-listen, and also some pieces at the very beginning, yeah, around this whole energetic shift. Oh. And that feels like whatever it is that feels blocked will unblock. Feels good. Feels good. It's like this possibility that feels so exciting. So yeah. So this integration that's going on, it's like it's bringing together the part of us that wants to stay really safe, and it's bringing together with the part of us then that's ready for an expansion or ready for something new. So that they're aligned, so they can work together in partnership, because that's what we want. We want to work in partnership. Siobhan, you were here but missed it at the beginning. We'll listen again. Yeah, it's like there's a thread that went through the whole session that feels relevant for you. So getting in those first pieces will bring in some of the grounding around this. Okay. All right, so that feels like it's complete for now. If anybody wants to add a comment in afterwards, I'll come back and respond to any comments, or if anybody's has anything that you want to say or ask or share, then do. But that looks like it's all landing. So if you want to feel your weight on the chair, your feet on the ground, have a sense of gratitude for yourself for the shifts and expansions that you're willing to make, because it can be so easy to just say, oh no, I won't do anything, I'll just leave things as they are, and not put the energy or the intention into allowing change and transformation. I mean, easy is inverted commas because ultimately it's easier to actually allow ourselves to expand. But so have a sense of gratitude for yourself for being willing to allow in the new, for being willing to expand, for willing to move towards what it is that you would love, for being willing to say yes, for being willing to kind of open up to what's possible. Because when we open up to that what's possible, it's like we move out of the old paradigm and we move into a completely new paradigm that kind of brings in just a completely new reality. And not everybody is willing to do that, so have a lot of gratitude for yourself for being willing to. So, Marine, very positive. Brilliant. I was wondering how you were doing. Hey Patrick, Mesh. Change is constant, and we can flow with it or we can resist it, and one is much more expansive than the other. One is much more fulfilling, more abundant, more light and joyful. And it's only the personality self that says, no, nothing needs to change. That's where the stuckness is, and anxiety and so on. So, all right, okay, so that feels like it's landed. So if you want to feel your feet on the ground, have a sense of your physical body, feel into the yes energy, have the intention, if it feels right, that you are allowing whatever it is you're energetically saying yes to, that you're allowing it to come in and show up. and you're allowing yourself to take whatever action you need to take, even if it's just, this feels like the next right action, even if I don't know what comes next. Okay, and also allow yourself to recalibrate. So it's like, yeah, in saying yes, we're recalibrating lots within our energy field. So, hey Neve, do we need to watch the replay? Is it working? Don't know how long you'll be able to watch. Oh, we're just finishing up, Neve. Oh, good to see you here at the end. And hope you enjoy it with the when you start again. So Happy New Year. Okay, all right, well, sending you all lots of love, and oh, the light is coming through again. Enjoy the yes, enjoy whatever it is. It's so much better when we go for whatever it is that we would love, and so worth it. And yeah, enjoy it. Okay, we'll see you then. Take care. Bye.